Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today at a press conference talking about Louisiana SNAP benefits, um, the Louisiana State Governor Jeff Landry went on about a 2-minute rampage, a rant about the coaching situation around LSU, right? So the video is clipped up at about 2 minutes of him talking about the head coaching position, Scott Woodward, the athletic director at LSU, and some other things. So I'm gonna play this video for y'all, and I'm gonna let y'all know my feelings on this and why I think this is not a very good look for LSU. So let me go ahead and play the video. And like I said, the video is about 2 minutes, and then once it's done, I'll hop back in. So here we go.
The guy that's here now that wrote that contract cost Texas A&M $70-something million. Right now, we got a $53 million liability. We are not doing that again. And you know what? I believe that we're going to find a great coach. I mean, maybe we'll let President Trump pick it. He loves winners. I'm not going to be picking the next coach. But I can promise you, we're going to pick a coach, and we're going to make sure that that coach is successful. And we're going to make sure that he's compensated properly. And we're going to put metrics on it. Because I'm tired of rewarding failure in this country and then leaving the taxpayers on the foot, to foot the bill. So, yeah, I absolutely. Who's that? No. I can tell you right now, Scott Woodward is not selecting the next coach. Hell, I'll let Donald Trump select it before I let him do it. I don't know, but the Board of Supervisors is going to come up with a committee, and they're going to go find us a coach. Because, wait, I want to hold on. One real quick thing on that. Because here's what y'all reporters need to do. Y'all need to start looking at who represents all these people, like these agents. You know what's interesting? If I'm not mistaken, Woodward's agent, Kelly's agent, the Texas A&M, they're all the same agent. Like, you realize if I would be, I don't know how many sports writers we got here today? Just you. We should have a bunch. Okay? Like, this is ridiculous. Lawyers would be disbarred for the way these agents act and the way they're able to represent. In fact, there's no doubt, they may even represent some of the players now. Like, it's really time for the NCAA to put on some guardrails in college sports. Because, and it's fine. We don't need the guardrails. If big billionaires want to spend all that kind of money, no problem. But if I got to go find $53 million from Kemp, it's not going to be a pleasant conversation. I'm just telling you. I know. And I think that that's important as well. Y'all should start looking into that. Okay.
All right, so yeah, that was that was the governor of Louisiana, Jeff Landry, and that was his 2-minute rant. Now, I'm going to talk about some of the things that he said that make sense, and some of the things that I think it's a bad idea. So first, let's talk about. He talked about how Scott Woodward is not going to be involved in the coaching hire at LSU because Scott was also the athletic director at Texas A&M who hired Jimbo Fisher. We know how that went. They paid Jimbo Fisher a shitload of money to walk away. And then, all right, fast forward, Scott comes to LSU and he hires Brian Kelly, and Brian Kelly was paid, there's rumor that he was paid $53 million to walk away. There's also rumors that a private donor paid all of the money. So, we don't know, but one thing we do know is that Brian Kelly got paid a lot of money to walk away from LSU. So yes, I think I think Scott Woodward should be fired. He hitched his wagon to Brian Kelly and it didn't work out, and I think he should be fired. Most times in the NFL, if you see a GM, a general manager, he comes in with a coach. They normally come in together. And if the coach doesn't work out, normally the GM gets fired. So there's no GMs in college football, but there is athletic directors. And so I think Scott Woodward should get fired. I don't agree that the president should get involved in, hiring the coach. I mean, what does Donald Trump know about, coaching college football, what have you, right? So I don't think he should get involved. Now, I will tell you this, that you may be asking, why is the governor of Louisiana talking about hiring coaches? Well, right now, LSU doesn't have a president. LSU have pretty much a governing board of people, but they don't have one president. They're still trying to find a president. And so when a public university like LSU doesn't have a president, then the governor of the state, which is Jeff Landry, he has to step in and kind of act like that president, right? But Jeff Landry is lying. He's not gonna. He said, "Oh, I don't know. I'm not gonna hire. I'm not gonna be involved in hiring a head coach." That's a lie. Although there is a governing body in place that's probably going to do a lot of the hiring and vetting, Jeff Landry is definitely going to be peeking in that room, or probably in a lot of those meetings, sitting in on those meetings and those interviews, looking at who that he feels needs to be hired. Because if that new coach come in and win a national championship, Jeff Landry gets to take the credit for that. Oh, I saved LSU football. It was my decision. I did it. I had a large part to do in him coming to this school. Now y'all can thank me. I'm the savior of Louisiana State University football, LSU football, right? So I don't believe in one bit when he says that he's not going to be involved. He's going to let the governing body do that. I don't believe him. I do think that he makes a very good point on these agents, right? So there's an agent named Jimmy Saxton. He's Jimbo Fisher's agent. He's Brian Kelly's agent. He did some work with Nick Saban. He's Kirby Smart's agent. He's Steve Sarkisian's agent. I think he's Lane Kiffin's agent. So this guy has like a monopoly of the top head coaches in college football. And one of his objectives is, hey, if you want to bring in my coach, you're going to have to pay him a lot of money, around $11 or $12 million a year, and he's going to have a very big buyout if it doesn't work out. And so he's right about that. These coaches are getting paid a lot of money. They're not performing up to expectations, and then they're giving a crap load of money to walk away. So kudos to him on that. I 100% agree with him. What I don't agree with is that he said that, oh, maybe some of these players are being represented by some of these agents. Maybe some of them are, but this is the new era in college football. Players are getting paid. It is what it is. You either have to get with the program or get left behind. Players are going to get paid. It's not going away anytime soon. So to get on that, behind that podium and kind of signal that he doesn't like the idea of, players getting paid, are they getting paid too much money? That has potential to negatively affect LSU's recruiting. It does. Call it what you want to call it, but it does. And why I think this is just a bad idea all in all for the governor to be getting up there talking is because what top-notch coach in America in college football is going to want to deal with these politics? LSU is one of the best jobs, if not one of the best jobs in all of college football. But the second you have the governor stepping in and saying that, oh, I'm not picking the next head coach, there's going to be a governing body, everyone can tell from a mile away that he's going to be sticking his neck in, the hiring process. What coaches want to get? What coaches going to want to get involved in that? No good coach is going to want to come to LSU. Matter of fact, check this out. This was Urban Meyer. Say what you want to say about Urban Meyer, but no doubt Urban Meyer is considered one of the best college football coaches of all times. He won national championships at Florida and at Ohio State. And this is what he had to say. As a person that's gone through the circuit and how you deal with it, I have very strong opinions on non-football people making football decisions. So discipline, off-season, recruiting strategy, class attendance policy, coordinator hires are all those are going to run through the governor now. And people say, well, of course not. Well, then how are you making decisions? That was Urban Meyer's on the governor after he made those those comments that at that press conference. And he's right. You can say what you want to say about Urban Meyer, but one thing that you cannot deny about Urban Meyer is that he knew how to run college football programs. When he was coaching at these universities, whether it was Utah, Florida, or Ohio State, these programs was winning, right? And so, we saw the governor tweet at LSU about raising the ticket prices, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's fair, that's fair." And then ever since that tweet, he has immersed himself into, you know, the head coaching hire and all of those things. So if I am a top candidate, like I'm just gonna name out some of the names that's been thrown around, right? You got people talking about, oh, call Nick Saban. They named Urban Myers. They said Marcus Freeman. I seen all type of names getting thrown around, right? Any of those people who know how to run a college football program, that's the who's of college football, they're not going to want to come to LSU. They're not going to want to have to possibly answer to the governor, because I'm going to tell you what, it don't matter who come to LSU. There's going to be games where LSU is going to drop them, right? We saw Nick Saban drop games that was considered embarrassing losses. We see Steve Sarkisian. They lost to Ohio State. We saw them, you know, they lost to Ohio State, but it was just a fashion of how they lost, right? Archie Manning just looked inept. Texas just went to overtime with Mississippi State. You know, there's going to be games where you're going to drop games or you're not going to perform very well. And there's going to be now a possibility now that every time that the governor feels like he doesn't like what's happening at LSU, he's going to get on Twitter and tweet something, right? So if you got an alpha at head coach, he's going to want to make sure that he has control of the program. He has stability, and football people are going to be making football decisions, not politicians, you know, trying to make headlines and getting in the mix of football operations and all of those things. These things have direct impacts on recruiting and these different aspects of things, because parents talk, and this video of him talking about all these things are it's all over social media. So it's making its ways around the college football world. Now, mind you, I do agree with some of the things that he talked about, how, you know, these agents need to, you know, be broken up, the monopoly, about how these coaches are getting paid all this money. I do agree with that. I don't agree with him criticizing kids getting paid, because it is what it is these days. These kids are going to get paid. NIL is not going anywhere. And I just don't agree with him making, trying to score political points, saying that, oh, I should let the president get involved in all of that stuff. I don't agree with that, man. I don't agree with that at all. He should have left it what it was. But he decided to go on a 2-minute rant when the press conference that he was having wasn't even about football. It was about food stamps, about people getting food stamps in Louisiana with the government shut down and all of that good stuff. So I just think that it's not a good look. I just think that it makes the job just a little less attractive for a top coach. LSU's head coach has to be a top dog. The next swing cannot be a miss. Scott Woodward is not going to be involved. The governor said it, and I think that's a good thing. I think he's lost his I think he's lost his opportunity to be involved. But I think that's as far as it should have went when I don't even think he should have went on TV and said that. I don't think he should have said that. I think they should have just met quietly behind closed doors, and he should have told Scott, hey, look, you're not going to be involved. That's how I would have did it. That's how I would have handled it. But if you go around and you like get in some of these LSU groups and go on some of these LSU like fan pages, they're not very happy with what the governor had to say, because they know this is not a good look. This is going to cause some potentially good coaches to have pause, and this is going to affect possibly recruiting. And so there you have it. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Thumbs up if you think that was a good thing what the governor said. Overall, thumbs down if you don't like what he had to say. And I want to say I appreciate everyone who continues to support the channel by subscribing, leaving a like, and leaving a comment. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and consider hitting that bell notification button so you can stay up to date on all the latest drops here on the channel. And until next time, I'm out.